Hey guys, so welcome to Property News this week. So we're coming to you from actual Isle of Wight. About to jump on the ferry across there, and we're going to be looking into a way to make income and avoid all the tax issues. I think so. It's a new product that I'm launching over the next few weeks. So I won't say much about it in this thing, but we'll get on to the news. So first article this week is all about the Bank of England and Mark Carney just coming out and saying effectively a bad Brexit could end in 33% drop in house prices. Now I think the thing here that you got to realise, and one of the statements he makes is basically that it's not their role to predict the good things that are going to happen, but it's there to make sure or predict or potentially forecast the bad thing and what the potential negative is. So he's saying, and effectively the worst case scenario is 33% drop in house prices. So that's the key, I think, to this thing is what is the worst case scenario? Go to the Bank of England, because they've got lots and lots of resources to have a look at all the different functions. It's interesting that they're playing with house prices a lot. I think that's it's quite telling that they're actually after the house prices. Sure, he talks about the banks can handle that now. They've got that liquidity, they've got all that sort of stuff. But effectively, what they're saying is that 33% is the worst case scenario. So somewhere between, that's our base, that's our bottom thing, the worst case. For me, worst case very rarely happens, and I think actually we're going to find that it won't be anywhere there. I'm mildly optimistic. I mean, we're really starting to see now the words come out and things come out that, perhaps they are going to reach some form of an agreement. They don't want to harm themselves just as we don't want to harm ourselves. So there's a bit of rationality coming, and I think that is telling, and that's fantastic. So in Brexit news, I think the interesting thing this week is how Theresa May got interviewed, and she's come out and said one of the frustrating things is that people are focusing on her future and not the country's future. And actually, it's probably the biggest thing that made sense from her in a long time. So I think the key to that she's obviously under stress, and a bit of pressure. I mean, you've got Boris Johnson, who's now really, I think, firmly putting himself forward as future PM potential. And you know what? He may well do it. I mean, he acts like a buffoon. Some things he does, I think, are just plain stupid. But the reality is, he's still there. He gets away with it. And he's popular. And let's face it, politics is less about the reality and, rational decisions and more about emotional decisions. And unfortunately, Theresa May does not invoke any level of emotion, or rationality, actually, if that's the case. But yeah, the other side of Brexit is that there's so much infighting about should we have another vote, should we not have another vote. Who knows what's going to happen there? I really cannot say, and I don't think anyone is going to really know what's happened. We've already voted. Do we want to put it to another vote? What happens if that doesn't work out? Do we put it to another vote? It's one of those sort of silly situations.